The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 208. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap-Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady who's actually not that far from me. I just found out we are both in the same city of Toronto, very great city, and she is a web designer, and I'm just excited to have her on and share her story. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Aileen Baylon. Aileen, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Hi, Sheena. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. And I think you're really doing a good job with your podcast and your goal to empower Asian women in general it's something that I fully support because it's something that I've gone through. So my name is Aileen Baylon. I live in Toronto. I am a wife and a mother to a 15-month-old. And I am a human to a dog named Zoe. I come from a very traditional Asian family. I grew up in the Philippines. I recently just moved here in Toronto 6 years ago. So I studied there, I worked there, and basically my mom just decided to uproot our lives and move here for us to have, better opportunities in North America as opposed to the Philippines. I have a degree in computer science and a master's degree in technology management. And I've been a web programmer for around 10 years, around that time.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Aileen, what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
I was just browsing my Instagram recently, and this is something that I really truly believe in. It says, you gotta do this for you. This is for you. This isn't about anybody. Should live for you, honor you, and never lose sight of that. I really like that quote only because it's very personal to me. I've been working with a mindset coach still up to until now. And after working with her, I realized that the story that I put in my head before, as I was growing up with my parents, is so much disempowering, if that's what you want to call it. I've been taught to, as a woman, you have to serve others first and put others first before yourself. And that really, in a way, it dampened my self-confidence of, just going out there and asking for what I want, because I felt like that's just not how it goes. But now that, after working on myself, I discovered that everything that I did before, it was just because of what I told myself that I'm capable of. So yeah.
That's a great quote, and thanks for sharing that. And it's true, right? As Asian women, we have been programmed to do everything for others, even if it means for us not to be happy. And we have to realize that, it has to start with us. We have to work on ourselves. And when we learn to, change our mindset, become a better person, that's when we can start attracting the right things into our life. So love that quote. Thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
I would say, self-confidence about knowing yourself, what you really want. Self-confidence is about building yourself up without tearing others down. As I go back to my answer to my previous question, if you asked me that question 2 years ago, or even like a couple of months ago, I would have had a different answer. But now that I've dug deeper and I really worked on myself and my story and my mindset, I have a different definition of self-confidence now.
Awesome. And I love your definition, building yourself up without tearing others down. I mean, that's, I think, is really important. There's a lot of people out there who are, tearing people down, even if they're aware or not of it. And we have to learn to, if we build others up, that's how we can, create these win-win situations. So thanks for sharing that. And Aileen, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
I wouldn't say it was bad. It was more of just I was floating without purpose. I was getting up every single day with no agenda. And it took me a long time. It took me 33 years to find my self-confidence. I found that I was wasting my energy on somebody else and something, and I was chasing something that is not even important to me, but I thought it was important at that time. I was pleasing everyone else but myself, and then when I done that, I regret and resent others for putting myself in that situation, which I myself caused. The story that I tell myself before I found my self confidence is so much different than the story I tell myself now. I mean, I know I keep repeating myself that, but I think it's really important to, work on our own stories and what we tell ourselves that we're capable of. Because if you limit yourself that, to this box that I'm Asian, I'm a woman, I can't do this, I can't do that, then that's how your subconscious mind will make base your decisions on everything that you tell yourself.
Thanks for sharing that. And I love that you mentioned, even though it took you 33 years, I mean, you still found it. Most people would quit thinking, I'm too old to do this, right? I mean, it's too late. I can't go out there and change, who I am or change my mindset. Really age is just nothing but a number, and we can go out there and change our circumstances in an instant. And, what was that point in your life when you realized, you have that confidence inside you to do whatever you wanted in life to change that mindset?
Definitely after giving birth to my son. It might sound a bit cliche, but in Canada, you get 1 year mat leave paid by the government. So it was just me and my son. And during the times that, he's sleeping or he's just playing on his own, I had a lot of free time to think about myself and I have this another life that I need to take care of. Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Is this what I want him to see me as? And it definitely made me question how I want the rest of my life to be and how I want to live with a son to take care of and a marriage to nourish. It made me question why I do what I'm currently doing, and is this how I want to live for the rest of my life? And that gave me answers of what I really want to do instead of, just being, floating with no purpose. After that, it was like, the movie Matrix, Neo. It was after he discovered the Matrix. I feel like it's like that for me. I see the world in a different light. I live differently and I live with a purpose.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And, it's great that you were asking the right questions to, attract the life that you have now, because we all have the answers within us, right? And it's sometimes we focus on the wrong things. We ask the wrong questions. Most of us are like, why am I in this situation? Why does my life suck? You were like, how can I make this better? How else can I live a better life? And, the answers may or may not have appeared, right before your eyes. Sometimes, you just see something. You're like, why didn't I see that before? And now, you're living, like you said, with so much purpose, so much clarity, and your mindset has totally changed, which is amazing. And, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey of self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
I would say, especially for Asian women, where we get so comfortable with, just drifting through life and, doing the normal Asian route. Study hard, graduate with honors, get a good job, get a high paying salary, get married, have kids, take care of your husband. I mean, that's all good and well, but try to get uncomfortable and try to get out of your comfort zone, and don't forget about yourself, because you can't be a better wife, you can't be a better mother if you don't know how to nourish yourself, if you don't know how to put energy into your life. If you keep on just giving and you're not taking, then you're gonna, maybe 10 years from now, you're just gonna snap. And don't be afraid of making mistakes. You made a mistake, you learn from it and move on. It's not the end of the world. It's not such a big deal if you learn from it. And most importantly, I think you should just trust your creative mechanism to do its work. Sometimes where you are is, there's a purpose for that, and sometimes you just gotta ask yourself, like, why am I here? What led me to this situation, and question yourself.
Awesome. Those are great tips. Thanks for sharing that. And Aileen, if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles you can connect with?
Sure, absolutely. I have a website. My website is www.eileenbaylon.com. That's the same Instagram handle I have. It's at Aileen Baylon.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Aileen, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Eileen's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I just want to thank Aileen for taking the time to share her journey and story and tips with us. So thanks for sharing, Aileen.
You're welcome.
Thanks. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Get your free audiobook by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.